you can't do anything else. Just be kind. Kindness is really the best thing that you can do.
As the Pew Commission on Children in Foster Care noted almost 30 years ago now, no child enters or leaves foster care without an order of the judge. So I just think that's important, that judges and courts have a threshold responsibility to ensure that children don't enter foster care unnecessarily. And then overseeing their safety and well-being after if they have to be removed from home.
I decided to become a parent advocate because I felt that as a parent who was impacted, my voice wasn't heard. And as a father, it was heard even less. And I figured if I was being treated that way, there had to be other people going through this that were being treated the same way.
I think one of the things is just really having the judge and the court ask those leading questions, ask about well-being, ask about placement, asking about and being curious about their families, really asking child welfare to take the lead in assisting young people and families to find community, find social capital, find other supports, not only maybe to support the family, keep them in their family, but maybe even keeping them in the same community or keeping in things that are important to them, whether it's cultural or community supports.
The judge can hear them. The judge can hear the parents. They can treat the parent as an equal to everybody else in the room, as a professional, because again, the parent is the person that has the most information about their family. So treating the parent like they have the most information about their family in the room would be the most important thing to do.
I think some strategies for reducing children in congregate care are utilizing things such as family group decision-making, family teaming, and conferencing, where families can come together and decide how they can keep their children safe.
From a 90,000 feet level, I guess you could say, from that view, spend more time, hold the agency accountable to finding family members, to really looking for relative placement.
A better alternative would be keeping the children home with resources. I think that would be the best outcome. If the children aren't, for some reason, able to stay at home, then the next best outcome would be with kinship or in their community with resources. But I don't think that group facilities work on the scale that people use them.
Judges can minimize the use of congregate care by just demanding that something else happens. No kid goes into placement, whether it's in foster care or kinship care or congregate care, without the order of the court. So if I don't order congregate care, that means that can't happen. So I think judges, first of all, need to make it very clear what they want or what they don't want in terms of where children are placed. The removal of a child from the care of their family is very traumatic, and congregate care only increases the level of trauma that children are experiencing.
And that is something that we see too much of, is over-reliance on group placement and over-reliance on congregate care. And often when children are there and they don't have dual diagnoses, for instance, they may develop them, unfortunately, after dealing with those types of environments. And so what I would suggest is that judges spend more time holding the agency accountable to the efforts that they make to seek appropriate placement for those children in the least restrictive environments. And that is a requirement. That's what the law requires.
I think good case planning looks like having the youth be at the center, the youth leading the case planning efforts, the youth being able to share their voice and share their opinion, especially around placement, especially what it means to be connected to family and their well-being in all areas of their life.
It's a major culture change, especially in some courts, and it doesn't happen overnight. There's And the movement against group care or congregate care is an international one as well as a national movement. And much of it is based on research showing that kids thrive better in families. And it also points out to the need not only to develop supports for family placements, but also to move supports for families upstream so that kids don't enter foster care